Washington Commanders got a guy, and I don't think I've talked about him yet on this channel, so I want to talk about him. But before I get into that, if you are new to this channel, my name is Craig. Me and my buddy Chris started this. We are Lions fans. We don't hide that, all right? We are Lions fans. But we wanted to pay a little more attention to some teams in the NFL that the national media kind of ignores. We love football. We have a chip on our shoulder as Lions fans, as people who like the underdog, who like the little guy. And sitting in the division that the Commanders are sitting in, you have no choice but to be that, which is really crazy considering you're in our nation's capital. But anyways, with all that being said, love what the direction of this team, love what they're doing, love the coaching staff, love the GM and Peters, and I think he hit one really, really big. And we're at the point now in the offseason, I've talked about this in other videos, where it's like, all right, here we are. It's late June. We've had a chance to just kind of settle in. We've had a chance to settle in, to see what's going on. And there's a guy that I'm not hearing a ton of buzz about right now, but I'm going to sit here and tell you that I think he could absolutely be the guy that when we look back on it, that everybody else wanted to get. Everybody wants to get people that are really good players in the third, the fourth, and fifth round. And quite frankly, that's what separates good teams from bad teams, great teams from good teams, and elite teams from great teams. A lot of people can draft well in the first and second round. Not everybody, right? But a lot of people can draft well in the first and second round. What separates the men from the boys, all right, is what you do in those middle rounds. The late rounds, you're hoping to get special teams production, deepen your bench a little bit. If you can find productive players in that third, fourth, and fifth round, you have an absolute leg up on the competition. And the more often you hit on those middle rounds, the better your team becomes. Trust me, I've seen it with the Detroit Lions, hitting on all kinds of third and fourth and fifth and even sixth rounders. All right, guys like Kirby Joseph and Aleem McNeil and Amon-Ra St. Brown and all of these different guys. This is something that your GM can now bring to you, is hitting on those middle round picks. And I think he absolutely hit on one of those in wide receiver Jalen Lane. And I'm going to give you some of the reasons I think he is going to end up having a nice long career and become one of the favorite players of Washington Commanders fans. I really do feel that way. And it all starts with something that he has that you simply can't teach, and that is elite athleticism. All right, and if you want to know how elite his athleticism is, you can go ahead and take a look at this bad boy right here. All right, he was a 4.34 in the 40-yard dash. That is almost the 98th percentile. All right, almost the 99th percentile. I apologize. It's 9.86. Everywhere he did that, he was good. He was quick in 10, 20, and 40. So he has elite short and long speed. His agility is elite. His explosion is elite. The only thing about him that is not elite is his size. And you don't need to have elite size. He has more than adequate size to play in the slot. He has more than adequate size to play in the return game. And that is where I know what you're probably thinking. Like, what are you talking about? We have a good wide receiver room. We got McLaurin. We just got Debo. Like, we don't need that Swiss Army knife right here, because that's what Lane did a lot of in college was, hey, he gets the ball out on the side and then he takes it a long way, right? We're going to talk about what that looks like, but I'm not talking about him coming in year one and being this elite receiver. Do I think eventually he can be a guy that catches, 50 balls for 750 yards? Absolutely. Why not? But immediately he's going to come in and he's going to be the starting punt returner for this team. Like, that is what I believe he will be. He's the kind of athlete that can not only take a bubble screen for a 40-yard gain or to the house, but he had really good special teams. He had 2 touchdowns, I believe, punt return touchdowns in his final 2 years at Virginia Tech. All that stuff's good, but there was production. All right, both at Middle Tennessee State first and then at Virginia Tech, he was consistently productive. All right, even when dealing with crappy inconsistent quarterback play. He posted over 1,000 all-purpose yards in each of his final 2 seasons. This was both at slot receiver, outside burner, and a special teams weapon. Showed the ability to high point the ball. It was interesting when I'm watching him and I'm watching film on him. Here's what I kind of get a glimpse of. He runs in a way that doesn't look athletic. In fact, he's kind of like hunched over when he runs, so you don't realize how fast he is. He's just running away from people. Nobody caught him on the tape. Nobody caught him. And he would always be like, oh, yeah, the guy behind him is going to get him for sure. And then he'd just run away. Like when you'd take a bubble screen, he'd be in traffic, and that's when you always get caught from behind. He did not. And the way he runs, I know this is going to sound really unique, and you've only seen him for a short period of time. That kind of, he's a smaller guy that kind of hunches over and makes himself even smaller. It looks like Austin Ekeler. Like I understand he's not a running back, but Austin Ekeler was such a good receiving running back that when I saw Lane taking all these bubble passes and things like that, I'm like, dude looks like Austin Ekeler. And maybe that's part of what drew this choice to the Commanders, because they like what they have in Ekeler and they kind of go from there. But don't just take my word for it, all right? Don't just take my word for it. Let's listen to the strengths that Brugler has on the beast, all right? And he talked about how he's a speedy athlete that can build his acceleration quickly. Remarkable combine performance. He keeps coverage honest with his tri-level skills or 3-level skills. Quick to read and attack leverage on option routes. Route pacing clearly improved over his 2 seasons with the Hokies. He trains with former NFL receiver Eric Moulds. Hey, put that on your bingo card, right? Eric Moulds, are you kidding me? That dude was a baller. He was really, really good. Adequate hand-eye coordination as a screen target to pluck, put ball away, and go. Terrific vision on returns or quick hitters and follow blocks to disrupt pursuit angles. Arm tacklers will slide off him when his motor's running at top speed, and he's an experienced return man. Also, son of a football coach. This is a dude who knows how to play football. This is a guy that nobody's talking about, right? You're not going to turn on ESPN and they're going to be talking about Jalen Lane. All right, they might talk about Jalen Noel for a second, who was drafted out of Iowa State, but they're not talking about Jalen Lane. He played college at a place that had horrible, horrible quarterbacks. All right, it was sketchy quarterback play. Still put together 1,000-yard seasons, was good in the, oft made fun of ACC, and I'm just excited to see what he'll continue to be. And I trust what this coaching staff is going to do with him. When I think about Cliff Kingsbury's air raid and how it prioritizes quick reads, vertical spacing, yak yards, that is what Lane does. Perfect fit. All right, hope you like this. If you like this, we're trying to give you non-biased content on a bunch of teams, but we love talking about the Commanders. If you want to hear more about Commanders and other NFL teams, hit that subscribe button. We'll see you on more. It's been awesome building this community up, and we'll see you on the next one.